Have you ever thought about how life in the United States is different from life in other countries? From the food we eat to the languages we speak, many of the aspects of our daily life that seem typical are actually very different in other countries. The same is true for college or university. Studying in another country can look very different from the typical American college experience of huge campuses, textbooks, sports, giant auditorium classes, dorm rooms, dining halls, and more. For example, even how we think about the idea of college is different. For a lot of students in the US, going to college typically means moving away from home and participating in the traditional American college experience. This might mean living in a dorm, joining Greek life, going to games, participating in clubs, studying all night at the library, and more. For American students, the idea of college encompasses a lot more than just taking classes. It is an experience. For many, their college campus becomes their home away from home. In the rest of the world, students are more likely to use the word university instead of college. Students overseas don't typically have a huge emphasis on extra services like housing, dining, career services, and more. They are also less likely to have big campuses, and students tend to be very independent. They are going to their university almost solely to take classes. In the United States, education beyond high school can include trade school, community college, or a four-year institution. Also, in the US, we have private and public four-year universities. The application process usually includes a combination of your high school grades, standardized test scores, admissions essay, application, and extracurricular activities. Similar to the United States, German universities can be public or private. Most are public, meaning they receive funding from the government and don't charge students tuition and fees. These universities are divided into three types. First, universities. Second, universities of applied sciences. And third, colleges of art, film, and music. Depending on your interests and degree, you would choose from one of these types of schools. For example, students who have a special musical or artistic talent could choose an art and music college. There are also many opportunities for vocational or trade careers, which don't require any university studies. These are quite popular. Students attend secondary school in Germany from age 10 to 18. Those who want to go to university do the gymnasium track, which is only for high-performing students who plan to continue their studies. From ages 16 to 18, these students take classes to prepare them for college. The program ends with a rigorous written and oral exam called the Abitur. The final Abitur grade will determine how quickly students get admitted to university and popular programs. Unlike most US universities, German universities do not usually have a ton of student housing or dorms to offer. Thus, German students tend to stay close to home to live with their parents. Those who don't will probably rent a cheap apartment or shared flat known as a WG in Germany. In terms of lectures and teaching style, it's pretty much the same as the German culture, pretty strict and rigorous. Being late to class is not something you want to do, and assignments and tests require hard work. Moreover, you may be surprised to learn that many professors and students speak English very well, especially in the bigger cities like Berlin and Munich. So, how long does it take to complete a bachelor's degree in Germany? In the US, it usually takes 4 years, but in Germany, you can graduate within 3 years. The grading system in Germany is different from the 4-point system we have. In Germany, grades are given on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being the best grade and 5 being the lowest. Student life in Germany is very different from the US. Most local students go home on the weekend to visit family and friends. Big cities in Germany have plenty of bars, clubs, restaurants, museums, and festivals and social events, so there's always something to do and no excuse to be bored. Universities also organize lots of student events, clubs, and sports activities for students. For a fun night out, students might meet at a city park or go out to a bar or party. So there are some similarities between universities in Germany and universities in the United States, but there are also some key differences. Some of the biggest differences include housing, student life, and the grading system. Now that you've learned about the university system in Germany, we'd like to highlight a unique program at NC State University where you can experience both the American and German college experiences. NC State's International Business Dual Degree Program, IBDD, allows you to study for 2 years at NC State and 2 years at the ESB Business School at Reutlingen University in Reutlingen, Germany. It is the ideal program for the adventurous student who has a strong interest in living, working, and studying abroad for 2 years. Not only will you make great strides in your German language skills, but you will also have 9 months of internship experience under your belt by the time you graduate. With this dual degree program, you will earn a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration from NC State University and a Bachelor of Science in International Management from ESB Business School. That's 2 degrees in 4 years, and memories to last a lifetime. If you think you might be interested or want to know more, visit our website or email pool_global@ncsu.edu.